Okay, so here we are one more time for another lesson. This time around, what we're going to be taking a look at is how we can apply some of the knowledge we've been giving you guys throughout the last couple of issues of PHP and MySQL into creating something real world. We're going to look at how we can create a guest book. You know what a guest book is. I mean, you've been to the websites where they have a basic form up and they say, hey, sign our guest book, put your name in, put your email address, leave me some comments, and most of the time you probably leave. I don't know, from time to time you may actually sign it. But, you know, this is something that a lot of beginner web developers look into creating for their own site. Often they'll actually go out on the web and find ones that you can more or less just kind of plug into your website and away you go. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the time to actually show you how to create one from start to finish. And then you can take this and really, you know, add to it and make it really fancy. We're going to keep it not too fancy for the simple fact that poor Logan is going to be doing lots of typing. So with that, Logan, take it away.
Okay, well, first we need to actually create the table that's going to store this data when people sign their name and add comments. So I'm going to load up the MySQL monitor and change over to K, change over to the MySQL bin directory, load up MySQL, and we're going to use that BuzzDB database that we created, and inside there, create the new table. So create table.
Now he's going to give it a table name here, guest book. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Now he's going to start specifying all of the fields. And after each field, I'll go ahead and get him to stop after each one and kind of talk about it. Because this very first field that he's creating, auto ID, has a few interesting things going on in it. Which, by the way, you'll notice how he's just dropped down to the next line.
Yeah, as long as you don't put the semicolon in the terminator, you can type out your queries on multiple lines, keep stuff a little bit neater. So that's the auto ID. It's basically going to be a unique ID number, so we can refer to each individual record in this table.
And what he means by unique is basically you see those keywords primary key. What this is going to do is it's going to make auto ID basically unique. In other words, every record that's entered, there's no way that we could ever have two records with the exact same auto ID. But actually, before you move on from there into the next one, there's a little bit more going on in there as well. I mean, we have init, unsigned. I'll let you back all that up.
So int unsigned, what that means it's going to be an integer with the default length of 10. It's going to be unsigned, so it won't be able to hold negative numbers.
Okay, and
not null, basically, because that's kind of interesting the way we're going to actually use this. Because with that auto increment, have MySQL keep being in charge of incrementing this field every time we add a new record. We're going to actually from the query actually enter a null, but because it's not null in auto increment, MySQL isn't going to take that null. Instead, it's going to take and add on to whatever the last ID number was.
So basically what's going to happen is MySQL is going to take care of auto-incrementing a number in there automatically.
Okay, so next, the name, the actual name of like when people sign their name.
And it's a varchar type up to 64 characters.
Then their email, same thing. And the comment's going to be a little different. We don't want to specify a length, so we'll just use text. So it's a undefined length that length of a message that they could enter. And it's date auto int. This is how we're going to actually store the date. And instead of using an actual date field, we're going to store this as an unsigned integer. The reason for doing this is the actual format that we'll be storing dates in the database is in a timestamp, which in a sense is just basically a really long number holding the number of seconds up to the current date. And we'll be using a certain function inside of PHP to actually read that and convert it into a more easy to read format.
Very nice, very nice.
And there we've got our table created, so that should be all we need to do in MySQL Monitor for this lesson. So we'll go back.
So now it's all about creating a new web page, I guess you could say, that has some PHP functionality in there that allows us to get to that new table and put information in it and pull information back out.
Yep. So I'll start a new script, and this time I'm not going to start out with the PHP block first. First I'm going to write the actual form that'll be used to accept input. So
Just to let you guys know, there's going to be quite a bit of typing going on in this particular lesson. So, you know, you might want to listen to some music, take a break, I don't know. You can listen to music while you're just watching these letters type across the screen.
Alright, now here's one trick I'm going to put in this script. Whereas before I had to specify what script, what action, so where the form is going to be submitting to. And same as last time in the var test script, we're going to be submitting to ourselves. So instead of having to go ahead and figure out what we're going to name the script, we can actually, the name of the script is actually stored in another predefined variable. So I'm going to type that out here. I'm not inside of a PHP tag yet, but inside of these double quotes, because up till this point, PHP is ignoring this until it sees an opening PHP tag. So inside here, I'm going to go open up a PHP tag, and I'm going to have it actually echo out that predefined variable. And that variable is $_server, and the element in that is PHP self.
So basically what you're saying is this is going to be replaced by the name of whatever this particular
whatever the script is called.
Okay, cool.
So then I'll just close out the PHP tag, and let's see. So I'll go ahead and end the form here. Let me see. So now I'm actually going to, well, we'll get a little bit fancier than an all-out basic form. I'm actually going to specify a font. Just makes it look a little bit nicer.
Too bad I don't have Angie in here to talk to while you're typing. Because then there could be like some conversation. Because I know if I have a conversation with you right now, it would totally screw your typing up. He's smiling ear to ear, by the way. For those of you wondering, Angie is in the other room right now, filling out CDs and putting stickers on mailers. Bless her heart. That's a good question. I wonder how I can just keep you guys entertained while Logan types all this stuff out. And kind of weird seeing things on the other side of the glass now. Usually I'm the one doing the typing, and you know, I don't care what's being said because I'm in my own little world doing the typing. But now here I am sitting here just kind of waiting with you guys, watching them type all this stuff out on the screen, looking around the office, checking my email. Nothing new happening. That's good. Everything seems to be pretty quiet. What else can we do? We could always go over to the site and see what's happening there. Anything new up? Let's see. Going over to the forums and... Nope, nothing really new going on. So as you can see, he's now typing all sorts of interesting things. Setting up the form for name entry, email entry, for comments. Right beside name, we've got a text field, basically. And then we've got email and a text field there. And then we got comments, and up underneath comments, we've got a big old box, so he specified a width and number of rows for that the viewer can type in their comments.
So that's basically all for the form. And I'm also going to type out the actual HTML tags because this is going to be more like a complete page when we're done.
He's talking again. Thank heavens.
Whoops, that's a tag. So title will be guest book. And so that